But today the Jews rule this world by proxy. They get others to fight and die for them. They invented socialism, communism, human rights and democracy so that persecuting them would appear to be wrong, so they may enjoy equal rights with others. With these, they have now gained control of the most powerful countries, and they, this tiny community, have become a world power.
He called the world a mess. The hopes of the post-Cold War era dashed. Malaysia's Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad opened the 116-nation summit with a candid, often scathing assessment of the world today.
The world now lives in fear. We are afraid of everything. We are afraid of flying, afraid of certain countries, afraid of bearded Asian men, afraid of the shoes airline passengers wear.
Mr. Mahathir defended Muslims, tracing the roots of terrorism to injustice and inequality, dubbing both Palestinian and Israeli acts of aggression as acts of terror, going against what he called double standards of the West.
These blatant double standards is what infuriates Muslims, infuriates them to the extent of launching their own terror attacks. If Iraq is linked to the Al-Qaeda, is it not more logical to link the persecution and oppression of the Palestinians with September 11th? I thank you.
With representatives of Iran, Iraq, and North Korea in his audience, many here agreed. To combat that, Mr. Mahathir proposed NAM leaders come together with a united stand, demanding war be outlawed to be enforced by the United Nations.
War must therefore be made illegal. The enforcement of this must be by multilateral forces under the control of the United Nations. No single nation should be allowed to police the world, least of all to decide what action to take when.
There were many apparent jabs at the United States, although not once in his speech did Mr. Mahathir mention the U.S. As a moderate, progressive Muslim nation, Malaysia is a success story for the Muslim world. Respected among leaders here as a voice for Islam and developing nations, Mr. Mahathir asked